Danny.
Oi, 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 everyone. Usually it's Monday and I've got the old Monday blues, but I'm not too bad today, you know. I'm feeling all right. It's nice when a good weekend works out for you, but listen, outside of football, DJB, how was your weekend, brother?
Yeah, all good, man. All good. Yeah, done a few bits and bobs, and yeah, it was good. It was good. And then obviously the game yesterday was good. At last, we got one thing right yesterday, or he got one thing right with substitutions, and it turned out to be a good result in the end. But yeah, always happy to come on the Monday night show. This is the one, the OGs. You know, from the start, it's been good, and yeah, happy to be here, my friend. Always.
No, and we're always happy to have you here, mate. Shane as well, man. Have you had a good weekend and up anything special?
No, yeah, it's all right weekend. Yeah, football, but normally it's either I had a good weekend and the football was great, or I had a bad weekend and or a good weekend the football was shit, or a bad weekend and the football was great. No, it's all right. I was just a bit ill this morning, but I'm feeling better now. But I had to drop fucking $1.5 grand on a plumber earlier, so it's not. It's just one of those things.
Yeah.
It's one of those things. One of those things. Look, we got the whole lot done. You know what I mean? There was the pump's gone, and our electric shower's playing up. And while you're here, just do the lot and save us calling you back in 2 or 3 months. Because we were 2 or 3 months looking for a plumber, first off, man. You know what I mean? That's what I was telling my kids. Get a trade, you'll be all right. You'll always have work if you get a trade. But now, listen, man, it's something that had to be done. And it's just life be lifing, man. What else can you do? You know what I mean?
Yeah. Now, facts. What about you, Norms, man? You better been up to much before we get on the Arsenal chat.
Oh, sorry. Everton just scored there. Yeah, no, listen. No, it was a great weekend. I was attended a charity. Call it a charity luncheon or tea party for Macmillan Cancer. They were raising funds for that, so I was at that on Saturday during the day. So yeah, that was a good weekend, well spent. And raised quite a few funds, and had some lovely sandwiches and some scones and creams and jam.
Lovely.
Cup of tea, cup of tea.
All right, but some in it.
But yeah, no, absolutely fantastic weekend. And to round it off, Arsenal go and win a game. At last, we go and beat Newcastle at St James's Park. So yeah, I'm a happy bunny.
Yeah, well, that would do sometimes, isn't it? Do you know what as well? Just quickly before we do come on to the Arsenal. I went to Chesterton World of Adventures. I took the kids today, or more, they took me. All right. Yeah, no, it's all right. They enjoyed it. And do you know what? I'm not going to lie. I hate queuing. No one likes queuing.
Yeah,
but
man.
I really, really, really hate queuing. And mate, it was almost like we had the place to ourselves there today. We barely waited anything, mate. Honestly, it was an absolute pleasure. Do you know what I mean? I don't mind. Go on. What one do we want to go on? No queues here. The kids were loving it. It was a half decent day. It weren't too hot. It weren't raining or anything like that. No, it was good. The kids loved it, but most importantly, I loved it. It was brilliant. Yeah, the kids loved it. Cool. But listen, we're not here to talk about that. We are obviously here to talk about Arsenal Football Club, and I wanted to start it from this angle. Yeah, so there are times in the season, and every season, maybe not all the time, maybe however infrequent, there are opportunities thrown to you. Always there's opportunities thrown to you, and by that was a pivotal weekend for Arsenal Football Club this year because this week, because we could have been sat here 8 points behind very, very, very easily, and none of us would have been surprised if that was the case. And it turns out we were 2 points behind, but we found ourselves in a position where we could have closed that gap, but facing a team where we've been absolutely terrible against really in the last 3 times. we've played them. Newcastle has been a bad hunting ground for us, and I really didn't expect us to win. I'm not going to lie, and I thought the best we could have mustered up was a 1-1 draw. And as soon as we went 1-0 down, I was a little bit worried. I'm not going to lie. But we had that opportunity. And last year, boys, we all know this. World-class chat. Big up to you all. We had a lot of opportunities last year when Liverpool dropped points in the first game, and we just never, ever, ever made them pay for it. We let them off the hook time after time after time after time. So it presented itself for the first time this weekend, this season, and a real opportunity from an 8 points to a 2 points. That's a massive gap. And Arsenal Football Club took it. And they bloody took it. And there's not a better way, really, when you look at the way Liverpool have been winning games. And I don't want to sound thoughty when I say this, but they've obviously been getting them, you know, the late goals. And it just seemed like it was the cherry on top of the icing on the cake for me, that they players in the last minute. And then the same weekend we won ours. Do you know what I mean? I just thought to myself, I just made it that little bit more sweeter. But you know, to come back and do sort of like the way we did, I feel like it's, you know, it's there's no better way to win a game like that, is there? You know, in them last minute sort of winners. I was running up and down the living room. Do you know what I mean? When me and my mate, we were supposed to go to the boozer, but we didn't go in the end, so we just bought them all here. Do you know what I mean? And bought shitloads of cans. But yeah, I just sort of wanted to say, and I want to bring DJB in with this. What's your sort of all take on it, man? Because Mikel Arteta, he started the lineup, DJB. We put Eze in the 10. He made substitutions that worked. He made the substitution at half time. The Mosquera. There's a few bits of talking points. I just want to know where you're going to start, Geezer.
I think after the Man City approach the week before, I think he could only go and get a win.
Yep.
I forecast a 1-1 draw, but I said that wasn't good enough. He had to go and get 3 points at St James's Park, especially when you're dropping points at home. If you're dropping points at home in big games, you've got to go and win your next game if you're going to be really, really focused on winning a Premier. When I saw Eze in the 10, I thought it was a positive. I saw the lineup, Saka, Eze. It's a toss-up with me on the left-hand side. Who plays out there, because I still don't think we've got an out-and-out left winger. So, you know, Trossard, Martinelli, it's you know, you're just peeing in the wind with that one. And yeah, Gyökeres. And then first 35 minutes, 25 minutes, we looked good. We was on the front foot. We was passing the ball. We was getting the ball in transition quick. You know, there was some good movement. Everyone bombing forward, everyone wanting on the ball. And we looked really, really good. And Pope pulled off a few good saves. And I'm thinking, yeah, this is great. This is what we need. And, but again, you know, lack of concentration. Newcastle get back in the game because of Mosquera. Looked like a rabbit in headlights when he came out, to be honest. He looked very nervous he looked very nervous. First time he's probably experienced anything like that at St James's Park in the Premiership, and he looked nervous. He played a couple of bad balls out of defence that was a little bit wayward, and then he shanked his clearance that went off for a corner, and then Gabriel got it all wrong on the corner as well. So yeah, there we go. He was on the back foot. But no, I thought, you know, first half we looked like the team, what we should be doing. We should be coming out on the front foot when you've got that. When you've got that sort of squad, that's how you should be starting games when you're chasing a title. My only problem was, and I've said this on other streams, my only problem was Zubimendi. I find him quite lazy, and I've taken a lot of criticism for this. I don't find him creative enough. I know he's probably, I'm giving him the benefit of the doubt on this, because he's probably trying to get used to the Premiership. Because at the moment, he looks kind of lost in that role, what he's playing. So Declan Rice is having to do an 8 and he's having to do a 6. He's having to cover all sorts of ground and really kind of be there, here, there and everywhere, you know? So, yeah, that part of it, I'm still a little bit worried. I'm still a bit worried about the left-hand side. But listen, all in all, good performance. All in all, better. Wouldn't say it's breathtakingly brilliant. I still say there's room for improvement, lots of room for improvement. But he got the substitutions right, Aaron. And hats off to him. He was more proactive than reactive.
Mhm.
He bought off Zubimendi, kept Eze on, which is a positive. Bought off Zubimendi, put on Odegaard, put Odegaard in the 8, give him a little free roll. Surprise, surprise. Not that I've been banging on about that for years. But so that was a positive because I'm thinking he's going to take off Eze here. And he brought Marino on, which is his job. That's his job. Come off the bench, play up front, be a nuisance, try and get on the end of something. That is it. I don't want to see him in midfield. So the substitutions was a positive, but it worked last week. Mikel Arteta done what he should be doing last week. But then we've got Saturday, we've got West Ham, who, by the way, are playing really well at Everton, to be honest. And who knows with Arteta in the next game? Who knows?
Yeah.
So, let's keep our feet on the ground and move forward.
D, just quickly as well before we move to Shane. I want to speak to you, and I wanted to mention it anyway about the Gabriel scenario with a header. What was he doing, man? Like, I don't know. Like, did he go down because he just thought there's no way I'm winning this header off this?
No, what happened was,
why wouldn't you have just fouled him and showed your strength rather than?
What happened was,
I'd rather have fouled him and give away a penalty.
No, what happened was he lost the flight of the ball. I don't think he realised that Voltemada was out jumping him, and he lost the flight of the ball. And as soon as he lost the flight of the ball, and he couldn't get his head on it, and he realised that he was going to get out jumped, any little touch that he felt, he went down, and that's what he did. He thought, oh shit, I've lost the flight of the ball. I'm getting out jumped here. Or I'll go down and try and get a free kick or a VAR, and that's why he was rambling on about it. But he basically just lost the flight of the ball. And if you see it come over, Voltemada was he was up in the air way before him, so he was always going to make that before Gabriel, always. And listen, people say that Gabriel didn't have the best of games, but he
come up with the goods at the end, didn't he?
He popped up where it mattered again, and it is what it is. But it was a must-win game, Aaron. I mean, them 3 points, they were a must-win. I mean, if we scored in the 90-odd minute, if we'd have come out of there with a draw, it would have been a whole lot of different conversations that we're having now.
Oh, 100%.
You know what I mean? So again, he's kind of got out of jail a little bit, but credit to him, he made the right substitutions, and we got over the line. But come what may, where are we going to be? You just don't know.
Yeah, 100%. And you know what I mean? That's what we're doing. And I think Mikel Arteta, like you said, has got to have his flowers. In terms of the decisions that he made, only for this game, by the way, you know what I mean? Like, let's not get carried away. It's it is just the one game, but you've also got to give credit where credit's absolutely due. And for me, we can't sort of sit here and go, we want to see Eze in the 10 in this sort of lineup. He does it, and then I was sat there and we said on Rashid's show, didn't we, Shane? And I was like, well, okay, if he's going to pick that lineup, what's the intent? And he went out there and we were good the first half. We were decent the second half. It was just nice to see a little bit, almost like we told you so sort of thing, wasn't it, Shane? There you go. This is what happens sometimes when you just let loose them shackles just a little bit. Do you know what I mean? You can run a little bit more. You're a little bit more free, aren't you? And we see that in the Newcastle game, didn't we, bro?
Yeah, to an extent. I'm going to sort of slightly lean back against he got the lineup right and stuff like that. It's what always happens to him. It was taken out of his hands. Because trust me, if Odegaard's fully fit, Eze's not in the middle. So we have to remember that if Odegaard's fully fit, Eze probably wouldn't even be in the team for me. He would have gone with Trossard and he would have put him on the bench. If he was in, he would have been out the wing. So we have to remember that. Letting the handbrake off, fine. He did. He let them attack. All good. I'm all for that, right? I'm all for that. When we didn't get the penalty, we went in on ourselves. We sulked and they scored. So I even put out a tweet at the time saying, just get over it. Yes, it was a penalty. Get over it. Move on. Don't play the victim again. And granted credit, second half they did. So he must have said something at halftime. So I'll give him his flowers for that. We also have to look at when we did equalise, he brought on a defender again. He brought Lewis Skelly on and went back to 4 at the back. So, they got the second goal fine, but he did go to say, well, let's make sure we don't lose, which is not the attitude to have. He still let them attack, but he did it with caution. So it wasn't throwing caution to the wind, which is what you want, right? You do want that. You want a lot like what Liverpool did. I'll give him credit as well. The camera panned in when or zoomed in when the injury time's going up, and he said 8 minutes, and he said go forward. So that's fine. That's what I want to see. Go forward. Yep. But we have to look at it as well. I mean, that petulance is still there. Arsenal didn't get the penalty. Newcastle took the lead. Now, Gabriel could have well easily have been sent off from tip when he went in with the elbow on Voldemort. This is a guy I'm touting for captain. You know what I mean? So if he gets sent off, we can't complain because he should have been sent off. Do you know what the horrible thing is? And this is what's wrong with football. If Voldemort had grabbed his face and gone to the ground, he gets sent off. If he had been dishonest, Gabriel gets sent off. And then we're looking at a completely different result. So we can get all gassed about a win, but you need to sleep it off and come back down to earth today if you want to win leagues, because people say you're so negative, just enjoy the win. Fine, I did enjoy the win. I enjoyed it yesterday. But today's a new day. Today is a new day. The league is not won. And we've seen it last season. We beat City 5-1. Then we went out of the cup. Then we drew 3 in a row. We drew Wed League. I mean, it happens all the time. And I was saying to DJB, and I was saying to Normsky, and I was saying to everybody on the fan cams, we have to win the next 5. No draws, no losses. Win the next 5, and then set a new target to win the 5 after that. If we don't win the next 5, I don't want to hear about it. I don't want to be hearing about Liverpool's fixtures. I don't want to be hearing about decisions they're getting. I don't want to hear about Liverpool full stop. Win all of your games and let them do what they're doing. Because I'm so tired of getting so gassed after one result. And people say, oh, you're nitpicking. Well, there's a lot to nitpick. Zubimendi was anonymous. He got bullied. We said he'd get bullied against Newcastle. We said he'd get bullied against Liverpool, and he did. Declan Rice needs to play in the 6. That's obvious now. Please play him in the 6. It's his best position. As soon as he went in the 6, everything changed. Everything changed. Eze needs to. This manager needs to go, sorry, Zubimendi, you're going to have to earn your way into the team now, because now Rice is in the 6, Eze's in the 10, and I'm going to drop Odegaard slightly back into the 8. That's what he needs to do. But we know he won't. So we can get all the gassed all we want. People say, oh, you're being hyper negative. I have people on X telling me you can't celebrate. You're not allowed to celebrate this. Well, someone told me to go hang myself. Yeah. So someone told me to go hang myself because I said if Arteta loses this game, he should be gone, right? This is what you're dealing with over on the other side. You know what I mean? So I'm actually sick and tired of it, because they come out after a win like this and they take the shine off what should be a celebration. You should be able to win this, have a good L celebration, and then move on. But they have to make it. We're definitely winning the league now. Best defenders in the world, best this in the world, best this in the world. They take the shine off everything. They take it off everything with their hyper positivity. Liverpool are shit. And then all the same fans that were saying that Liverpool winning in injury time isn't sustainable are now putting up the City goal and this goal going, this is how you win leagues. You know what I mean? Which one is it then? So I know that I'm letting them affect but unfortunately we are a fan base together, right? We're a fan base together. Yes, there was loads of positives, but we remember that again, it's this guy stumbling into some of them. He stumbled into playing Eze in the middle because Odegaard was out. There's nothing wrong with Nwaneri, by the way. He just didn't put him in the squad. So you have to look at that. We could have brought him on. Now, if Gabriel doesn't score that winner, we're sitting here going, he could have brought Nwaneri on and changed the game. You know what I mean? So there's loads of these little things. And if you're scoring injury time winners, they're great for the buzz and stuff like that. But then there is definitely things that need improving, because it should never get to that point. They're lovely when they happen, but I'd rather a 4-0. You know what I mean? I'd rather a comfortable win. Yeah, they're great when they happen. They're great for the dopamine and all that stuff. Yeah, it's a great win. Newcastle, but Newcastle have only won 1 game this season. You know what I mean? So we need to remember that too, right? They're not the Newcastle have only won 1 game. They're tough to break down. But we are always good against the big teams, apparently. So we're playing West Ham next. They're going to have the new manager bounce. They've done us twice at the Emirates. We're then away to Fulham, which is a rotten place to go, right? Then we're at home to Palace, who are now the best counter-attacking team in the league. So get through all of them and the next 2, and then we'll sit down and have a conversation because I'm just tired of everything being built up. And we know that this guy will self-sabotage everything that happened in that game. We have to remember that Havertz is back in training, so he's going to find a way that he'll ruin the lineup with him. We have to remember that he's going to try and keep playing Trossard and Martinelli. We have to remember that he's going to play the same three midfielders in the middle. These are all the things that are going to happen, that we know are going to happen. He's going to keep playing Calafiori. He's going to keep ostracizing Nwaneri. He's going to keep playing Saka, who's going to break down again soon. So, yeah, great win. But we know all the bad things that are going to happen, because everything that we say on all of these streams that needs to change are all things that we know he won't change. We know deep down he won't change them. And I'm sorry to bring the mood down after a win, but listen. No, man, I was buzzing yesterday. I was on with DJB and Normsky. Great result. Me and Normsky and DJB were buzzing. We came up with a couple of things that you could tweak to improve. And as I said at the time, if you want to win elite sporting competitions, the league, the Premier League, even the FA Cup, the League Cup, all of them, you have to nitpick, because if you don't, you better damn well know that Slot's nitpicking and Guardiola's nitpicking, and they're making all the little adjustments for the little bits that need to be improved. And if we sit back and get, we're getting some RAF pilots, what's he doing? Straight away, he's gone back to Arteta settings.
Yeah, what's
getting RAF pilots into talk. Do you not hear that?
I saw a little thing on that. Yeah,
he's getting RAF pilots in to help us communicate with the team. Because he's an idiot. Right?
Do you know what it reminds me of? Have any of you boys ever watched Hell's Kitchen? Gordon Ramsay. Every now and then he challenges the chefs, and he brings in he'll bring in gymnasts to prove a point, or he'll bring artists in to show about togetherness. It just reminds me of that. Like scripted, cringy TV stuff.
Yeah, stop it.
With a budget, isn't it? Do you know
it's crazy. It's crazy. As I said,
American TV show.
Yeah, it's mad. That's mad. I mean, as I said, before Normsky comes in, there's still cracks. There's no left side. As I said, there's no left side. That's what worries me, because I didn't think Trossard was up for it again. I don't think Trossard's a 90-minute player. He's done a couple of good things, but he's not a left mid. He's not.
Do you know what it is, DJ? I don't want to cut across it, but you know what it is? Do you think that we will be sitting here 5 games from now with 5 league wins in a row? Do you honestly believe that we'll have 5 league games wins in a row with this guy?
No, I still don't see it. No.
But do you think Slot could do it? He's already done. He's already done.
Yeah. I think he can. I think Liverpool could probably go on a run. I've just watched West Ham at Everton, down and out, finished, 3 points. Horrendous, absolutely playing horrendous. But funny enough, their best performances this season have been away from home.
Yep.
Their best performances this season have been away from home. At Forest, when they beat them 3-0, and they've just got a result at Everton tonight. Some of them looked electric. So before you bring Normsky in, so if anyone if all these are, we'll go and smash West Ham 4-0, 5-0, it ain't happening. Just get that out of your head now. It's not happening Saturday. It's not 4-5-0s are not happening Saturday.
Well, I've got a little bit sort of saved for the sort of next week sort of games in the future fixtures. But I do want to bring sort of Normsky in about the Newcastle game, because look, it's I agree with what Shane said and what DJB sort of was saying as well, and the proper top gooners are acting now like, when we say pivotal, we mean, look, you can sort of go, we're in a contention again, because we know that if it was 5 or 8, we're still in la la land. 2 points, you can't really say Arsenal are out of a title race, because they're there or thereabouts. They're there, aren't they? And it was a massive weekend. But all these top gooners now think that that's it. Oh, it's a Champions win weekend. That's it, and that's what point Shane was making. It's a step too far, isn't it? That's it. It's a Champions win. If Liverpool done that, it's a Champions win, because they're champions. They've won it last year. They know they can do that. But for Arsenal, we can't do that yet. We can't do that. But it's still a good weekend for us, Norm. It still gets us in it. It gives us that little bit of to kickstart our season. What do you think about that Newcastle game, man? Because
Yeah, no, I just
go on,
agree.
sorry, go on,
I mean, I obviously absolutely agree with what everybody's saying. Listen, the league is not won after game week 6. Let's just get that straight before the start. You know what I mean? Yes, it was a brilliant moment, and I think that's what the problem with a lot of these Arsenal fans. We live in the moment and we forget about the other 32 games. Yeah, there are another 32 games to go, and yes, we got West Ham coming up at home. As I say, I was watching the game as well. Yeah, then we're not going to just go and roll them over. As DJB said, their best, games have been away from home. So, and we haven't got a good result in the last couple of seasons at home against them. So we can't go into the game on Saturday complacent. We have to go with the mentality to go and win that game, or with the right attacking players. Let's not revert back to type. The niggling thing, as I say, in the back of my mind, and Shane brought this up, good point, that you've got all these players, coming back from injuries that are sitting in the wings, ready to come back. What he's got there that happened on Sunday, that was a great formula in terms of attacking play. It was good to see him bringing on attacking players. It was good to see us in those first 35 minutes attacking 20 shots, 7 on target. You know what I mean? We barely had shots against them in the last. I think it was 3 shots in total in 3 seasons that we've gone to play them. We have not had a good result there. So yes, that moment of Gabriel getting that last minute goal, fantastic, brilliant. But there's, as you said, listen, let's just sit back, put the old reins on the horses and pull up and just look at where we can improve. I said it on Shane's show last night and also on DJB's show as well, is that you got to look at what was good, but you also got to look at where we need to make improvements. Yeah. And certainly Zubimendi, for me, again, he was our weak link. You know what I mean? This guy was just getting bullied. It might be that he needs to take time to get used to the league. Soon as Declan Rice went in at number 6, the game, you know what I mean? That you could see, you could see the improvement straight away. And I just hope that Arteta is not stubborn enough to sort of say, well, listen, I got it wrong. Let's start playing in Declan, because his best season when he played in that 6 was when he first came to the club. So why are you trying to, be smart and change it up? He's not as effective. Yes, he's good on his set pieces and all that, but him on the ball, you know what I mean? He's the sort of player that he'll break up play, run into the space, that's it. But he's not a fantastic pass on the ball, personally speaking. I think it just takes a little bit more time. You need someone that's a little bit more technical in that position. And sort of breaking the line. Just takes a little bit too long to make sort of those decisions. But yeah, I mean, I'm absolutely pleased about the whole weekend, because it's that whole thing of breaking that mentality, going there and getting those 3 points. I think the difference between 2 points and 8 points, do you know what I mean? It's
massive,
like, bro, massive. Do you know what I mean? You go and draw that game. A draw was not good enough. You needed to win the game. So we put a bit of pressure on Liverpool. And if you look at Liverpool's fixtures and look at our fixtures, yes, I know Shane was saying we shouldn't.
We'll be bringing that up in a minute as well.
Yeah, but they've got some tough fixtures, but we need to focus on what we need to do. Arteta said it after the first game that he was pleased about the way we play. We need to focus on what we need to do going forward. And to be honest, I mean, he apart from now, I'm hearing about this gimmick about RF. Planes and all of this. His actual post match wasn't too bad. He was just literally it was that short, so it wasn't that bad. You know what I mean? He just got to the point, said what he needed to say. Yeah, we don't want to get emotionally. Oh, the players get too emotional. The next game. We played that game with great, fantastic Alex Ferguson, all those top managers that win those games. Yeah, we'll say, okay, let's put that to the back of our minds now. Let's move on to the next one now. You know what I mean? We've got a game, Olympiacos, in the week. Yeah, hope he will rest some players, bring in, the likes of Ethan. I don't know what the situation with Ethan. I don't know if anybody's got any news on Ethan when he was injured or not.
No injury apparently. No
injury. Right. So so that's a conversation that we need to probably have. But generally the game was good. As I say, Mascara looked a little bit like a fish out of water. Didn't have one of his best games. I would have probably preferred Saliba to start, but Shane did put me right by saying he was carrying a knock. So fair play in that. But he came on, brought on the attacking players, brought on Odegaard in a deep position. And that's where he looked better in that left 8, operated a lot better in that left 8. Lovely pass, that reverse pass to Lewis Skelly. You know, if Lewis Skelly was just lift that ball,
it was a great pass. Yeah. Undeniable. And it was fantastic.
Martinelli would have had a lovely tap in. Just quickly before I finish, Victor Gokres, he's getting in good positions and that. I just think that he just needs to get used to the league. I just think the pace of the league and stuff like I don't think he's got used to it. You know, people are knocking him saying, "Oh, you can only score against your flat track bully and all of that."
Yeah.
Well, you know, get your goals. And if, say, for argument's sake, if you know we did get that penalty, which I think it was a penalty, I didn't know what the situation was because Saka had the ball in his hand, but it might have been a thing of, well, he had the ball in the hand and he'll give it to him because it would have been good for him to take that penalty if we got it. And at least he would have got his first away goal, you know, at a tough ground like Newcastle. So going forward, yes, he's going to need to step up against the bigger teams, but it's going to take a bit of time. And so I'm not going to start cussing him and saying blah, 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 that, you know, the jury's out and you and all that. Because players that have come into our club in the past, you know, they took time and now they're legends of the club. So I think what he does, you know, he's not technical on the ball. You know, yes, he did some good hold up plays, but his ability is to score goals. Yes, people are going to turn around and say he came from a farmers league and whatnot, but he scored 39 goals. You know, what we are saying is that potentially we would like to see him say 20 goals. If Arteta changes his system to suit him, then he will start getting the goals. But at the moment, he's just finding it a bit difficult. A couple of passes from Eze to him, and I think he made a run just to quite come off. Sometimes he just needs to, I think, just thinking about it too much, just to do that ball comes to him, hit it first time. Don't take an extra touch. Do you know what I mean? Because you are playing in the Premier League. It's not like in the Portuguese league. Do you know what I mean? Or in the Championship. You don't have time when you're up here. And a lot of the times he was being wrestled to the ground. Probably needs to be a bit stronger. I don't know, because a couple of times when I've seen him, I've seen guys bounce off of him, but he was up against some physical guys in Newcastle, and they are physical players. So Joe Linton, absolutely physical, and they were very physical with us. But I'm glad we kind of got through it. We didn't let it get to us, so I was really glad about that. He didn't get to us, and then towards the end, we get that massive goal for us to go on and win the game.
Yeah. No, I'm going to round up a few of the points there as well. But I just wanted to say big up to Jez for a couple of things, actually. Firstly, thank you for the raid. Big up to everyone that's came over. Make sure you're smashing a like as soon as you come in and subbing to every single one of the guys. All their links are pinned. I'm sure you already are anyway. And of course, 10K I'm seeing as well. 10K subs. I'm presuming that's La Decima for La Jezza. So yeah, well done, congrats, man. Big up to you, buddy. If you're here, if not, I'm sure in due course, I'll get the opportunity to say thanks. But congrats, man. That's a great milestone, isn't it? You know, 10K. That's a lot of effort put in. That's not just 10K subs. That's years of effort put into an hours and God knows how many bloody hours. So yeah, big up to you, bud. Absolutely, congratulations. But yeah, look. So look, rounding sort of up that game, like you were saying. The 2 points, it is a lot better than 8. Now, again, we're going to keep our feet on the ground. Yeah? Absolutely well on the ground. Do I still find Liverpool favourites? Of course. Do I still think we'll win the title? No. But I definitely think we'd have more of a chance with 2 points behind beer than 8. You know, and I do hope that this game could be a platform for us to go on a little bit of a run. But because some of our next fixtures, which I will bring up in a minute, look easier on paper, it doesn't ever work that way. And like I can't think which one of you said, we've seen Slot do these wins on the bounce. We haven't seen Arteta, especially last season. He never managed to pull any real run together. So that's what I want to challenge him to do, you know. Mikel Arteta earned his weekly wage last week because he managed to pull off a win in a scenario where he also could close points on a rival, which he hadn't done for the entire last season, really. So he earned his money last week. So a small little portion of that £15.6 million a year. He earned his money last week. The problem is for Mikel Arteta is there's 37 other match days in which you have to earn your money too. And one I always say, it either takes him too long to learn a lesson or he doesn't learn it. I just hope what we can get from this, from Mikel Arteta, is at least to go, it couldn't have actually been, let me say it like this, it couldn't have been any better that we won the game and attacking away at Newcastle, because what he'd done at Anfield and what he'd done at home to Manchester City was just not good enough. And when he did just loosen them purse strings, you know, in terms of when he just unshackled us just that little bit, you could see us playing better. And you know, we went in the half time 1-0 down. But to be fair, we were the better team. It was not Mikel Arteta's fault that Trossard hit the post. It's not Mikel Arteta's fault that we didn't get the penalty. So I can at least understand and have that outlook when I go, well, do you know what? He's actually starting the game in the right way and getting us and allowing us to play with a bit more freedom. Then you can go like that. It's just when we're lining up defensively and then we're putting and then we're told to defend and be rigid, and then you're seeing that shit. That's a big problem. But you know, he's managed to find a way, and I mean, fair dues to him. The substitutions were really good. They were obviously really good because Mikel Merino scored and fucking Odegaard assisted the winner. So you know, it worked. But I need it to work against West Ham. Maybe not so much the substitutions, because I hope your starting lineup is enough to work at West Ham. But we need to see you earn your money for what are we at match day. We've got another 32 match days. I need to see you earning that money every single week, because that's what the best managers do, boys. Before I stop waffling on, every single manager in Premier League history gets more managerial decisions, whether it be on field, whether it be managerial, whether it be substitutions, whether it be signings, whether it be sales. You look at the Fergies, the Mourinhos, the Slots, the Guardiolas. They all get a very high portion of these of these things right, more than they do wrong. All of them decisions, they get more of them right, and that's what makes the great managers. That's what makes them win. And Mikel Arteta doesn't. He probably gets way more wrong than he does right. Yesterday, yesterday he got it right, boys. He got it right. Getting it right once doesn't win you Premier League titles. And I just want us to go to West Ham, which we'll be bringing up now, our next few fixtures compared to Liverpool's. I want us to see us be able to go there. Very tricky place in which we actually haven't even scored a goal, by the way. We haven't even scored a goal against West Ham. We lost 1-0 there last season and 2-0 the season before. So, you know, it's not a happy hunting ground, the Emirates Stadium, when West Ham are coming. Very frustratingly. But nevertheless, if you're going to win a title, these are the games you've got to win. And we can see ourselves now. When I look at this, I'm thinking, right, our first 6 points. When you actually deep it like this, boys, if you'd have looked at Arsenal's first 6 games and gone, you'll only be 2 points behind Liverpool after them 6 games, it doesn't sound too bad. That's negating, of course, all the shit we've had to watch in the middle. I'm not discounting that. I'm not an idiot. But if you was to actually go, you'll only be 2 points behind Liverpool after that 6, you go, all right, yeah, that's not the worst thing in the world. Now we've got these 6 teams next. We play West Ham at home. A game again we have found very tricky in the last 2 seasons. And as well, Fulham away. We've drew and lost in the last 2 seasons. Crystal Palace, one of the informed teams in the Premier League. Burnley away, giving Liverpool a bit of problems, didn't they? Sunderland away might not be as easy as people think. And then, of course, a North London derby. And then you look over the road at Liverpool, who could 50-50 with Chelsea, in it. 50-50. You don't know what one of them's going to turn up. Manchester United, they won their last season, but Liverpool probably won, I think, was it 9-1 the season before? Brentford away, very tricky. On Canva, I've added the 2 fucking same ones at the bottom right hand. Sorry, boys. Silly absolute sod, ain't I? I will take that off and then I'll go and fix that. But let's just continue whilst sorry, I'm not a software designer or whatever that is. I'm not, sorry. Either way, our next 6 fixtures before I rectify my issue. What are we saying? Is this an opportunity? Was that last minute dramatic winner a springboard, a platform for us to try and get ourselves in this title race, to put our feet firmly and say, we are here to win this Premier League? Because I'm looking at them next fixtures and I'm thinking, whilst there are tricky games in there, no shadow of a doubt, if Arsenal Football Club are going to stamp some authority in this season, after 12 games for the end of that run, I expect us to be, this is the run to do it. Use that win against Newcastle as a platform to go there and stamp some authority. What do you reckon on that, DJB? What can you see us doing on Saturday and throughout them fixtures, mate? This
is going to really sound silly, but our next fixtures are harder than the fixtures we've just had. Right? Not on paper, but mentally. Right? Mentally, they're harder than the fixtures we just had because we know what we've got to produce against the likes of Liverpool, Man City. This manager hasn't really had his record against the top teams is not that. It's not fantastic, but it's not bad. It's not awful. They're not the problem games we struggle with Arteta and the team. The problem games are the game Saturday, Fulham away. Because if you cast your mind back to last season, we drew 0-0 at home against Everton. We struggled at home against Southampton. We only just about got the job done. Leicester pinned us back. And at one stage, they could have gone on and nicked all 3 points. We got the job done. Then we struggled at home against Brentford. We struggled at home against Bournemouth. All these teams seem to come to the Emirates and go, we've got nothing to lose. We're not expected to win. We can come here and if we get a point, it's good enough. So we've now got the opportunity because Liverpool now have got their toughest little run, if you like. They've got their kind of toughest run, if you like. Chelsea, Man United's always going to be hard. I think they've got Man United, have they? Yeah, they've got Man United. That's always tough. That's a derby. They've got City, they've got Villa. I mean, they're tough games. Liverpool have now got their next lot of tough games. As I said, on paper, we've had some hard fixtures. But mentally, these are the fixtures that we find difficult. And I would say that these are more difficult than what we've just had. Because West Ham now, you know, they've got their new manager. They've got a point now going away to Everton, which is a tricky place with their new stadium. They looked good second half from what I saw. They're going to come to the Emirates now, full of confidence, a little bit more confidence than what they would have had. Fulham away. We know that this manager at Fulham has done a job on us many a time. Craven Cottage is always a tough place to go. Crystal Palace, say no more. What can I say? I see them batter Liverpool.
I'm glad that's at home, that fixture.
When I say batter Liverpool, they battered Liverpool.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, they should have been 4-5-0 up in that first half, no problem at all. So when people say to us, we battered Newcastle first half, no.
Yeah.
What I saw Palace do to Liverpool, that's a battering. Their keeper was making save after save after save after save, off the line, posts, everything, right? So, yeah, it is going to be tough, Aaron. It is going to be tough. The problem I have with what we've just witnessed, it's good. It's good to win a game like that. It's good to win a game like that. And the Newcastle game will give us a lift. However, I've seen games that have given us a lift last season, and in the next two games we've gone back to square one again. We had signs of it against Newcastle in the first 10, 15 minutes against Newcastle on Sunday. We started to play keep ball. We started to knock it sideways. We slowed the game down early part of the second half. Eze then was not effective. He wasn't very effective. As soon as that game gets slowed down, Eze goes missing because that's not what he thrives off of. He thrives off of getting the ball early, getting it into feet, the pace of the game being quick. I'm just worried that he might, you know, think that this is an easy game. He might go into it thinking, well, you know, we've got the beating of these. And it might start off cautiously, and the problem is with these games, I'm never really confident. I'm never really confident because it's more of a psychological thing with the manager and the team, rather than the other games. The other games, we know we've got to be up for it. We know what we're expecting. We know we've got to go and beat our rivals. Yeah. We know we've got to go and beat our challengers. These are the games that catch us off of our guard a little bit. I think we'll be okay. I think we'll beat West Ham. Fulham away, I'm not so sure. Crystal Palace, again, we should win at home because we're at home. We should win, but they've got 18 games unbeaten in all competitions.
That's unbelievable, isn't it? What he's done.
18 games.
Fantastic.
That's
proper management in it, D.
I mean, I think I don't know why I said it. I think I might have said it on DG's earlier. No, I think I might have said it yesterday. Who would you have out of Mateta and Gyökeres at the moment? On current form, who would you rather have, Mateta or Gyökeres?
Mateta all the way, yeah.
Yeah.
Adam Wharton
unarguable.
Adam Wharton or Zubamendi on
Wharton.
current form.
Wharton.
The Sarr guy. Is it Sarr, his name?
Yeah, he's
Yeah,
brilliant.
yeah. It's Marcel.
Sarr, Martinelli or Trossard?
Yeah, sir.
So
Mitchell or Calafiori.
Mitchell or Calafiori. So you're picking 4 Palace players straight away ahead of ours on current form.
They've been fantastic. Yeah.
And I'm sorry, but Normski mentioned Gyökeres. I was giving him the benefit of the doubt, but I've not seen it, guys. I'm sorry. I don't mean to be too negative on Gyökeres, but he looks. I've seen it at Arsenal over the years. I've seen top strikers come to Arsenal with a big billing, with the big headlights and the lights and all the paraphernalia and everything, and flopped. Francis Jeffers, Lee Chapman. I've seen all these players come to Arsenal. I'm just a little bit frightened that he's going to be the modern day kind of Lee Chapman at Arsenal, to be honest, because he's getting the ball, he's making runs, but his runs are 2 minds. I mean, there was an incident when he had the ball, and instead of going straight for goal and getting his shot off quick, because all good strikers will get their shot off quick, he's kind of gone to the right, and then he's in 2 minds and he's lost the ball. I hope I'm wrong, but yeah, we'll see. But no, these are the games that worry me. Funny enough, they worry me more than the big games. The big games we're mentally switched on.
Yeah, we seem to be up for it. We seem to be up for it.
Yeah, these games catch us. You know what I mean? They catch us with our pants down sometimes. They're tough games. They're tough.
Just quickly before we bring Shane in, obviously, Suge is coming with a hammer blow, probably to only 50% of the panel.
I'd imagine.
And he started it here. Big up to the pre-puberty Timberlake, Pluto-looking bum with a beard that looks like a Arteta's fluff. Thank you, peasant mank who wants Arteta for 5 years. That probably maybe be you, Shane. I don't know.
There we go. This is the sentence that me and Normski likes. This one.
Yeah. And of course, the legendary DJB Normski and the legendary world-class motherfucker.
There you go,
chat.
Suge.
Hit the likes and subscribe.
You're a legend, my friend.
Suge, of course, just being extremely kind to all 3 of us on the panel.
Yeah.
Or 4 of us, sorry. All of us, equally as kind. And we're all grateful for you, Suge.
Suge, you just had your first game as West Ham manager, and you're still in here throwing abuse at us, man. You know what I mean? You should be in there with the team, mate. You should be in there with the team, doing the team talk, man.
Oh, that's fucking funny.
Oh, classic.
And big up to the JCG as well, man. Yeah, go on, no worries, Steve. Big up to JCG. Every time he is in everyone's chat, supporting as best as he can. He's always out there. We love a bit of JCG, man. And he's saying big up Aaron and panel. A lot nicer than look at the 2 differences, eh? Look at the difference that we get from JCG to the Suge. Do you know what I'm saying? This is what we like reading in it. Big up Aaron and the panel. Look, we got a nice one in there, mate. He's a proper laddie, a Suge. Take a note out of fucking JCG's book, my old China. Seen something interesting today. Top Gunner said Mikel Marino better than Steven Gerrard was in midfield. No fucking way. Really? Like, wow. That, my friend, sorry, that it literally is the absolute intelligence of that bunch, though. Yeah, I probably think he's a better captain and all. They'll probably even tell you that he won more because they're liars as well. Even though Steven Gerrard won everything bar that let it slip Premier League, of course. Sorry, Liverpool fans in the chat. But we got to get our kicks somehow as Arsenal fans. Sorry, Miss Normski as well. Sorry, Miss Normski.
I'll pass it on.
Yeah, no, don't. No. Sorry, Miss Normski. I'm really sorry, Miss Normski. Don't pass it on, please. Oh, man. But listen, oh yeah, that's right as well. Yeah. No, you're absolutely right, Aces. Yeah. Aaron V. Dad, my old man is a West Ham fan. That'd be an interesting one. But Shane, I sort of know how you're sort of probably going to go with this. These sort of fixtures, of course. We've got to look at ourselves, haven't we? Was that?
Am I that predictable? Am I?
No, because we've spoke about it before. Yeah. That's all. Yeah, you've already told me. Yeah, now you get to tell the wonderful world-class chat. But now, look, we've just got to do our own job here. It's always really hard, though, isn't it, not to focus on what Liverpool have got to do. But for Arsenal Football Club, we've got to do our own job and focus on ourselves. But it is hard to not look over there and go, do you know what? Whilst there is some tricky ones in us, you'd expect Liverpool to still drop some points there, and you wouldn't have probably said that to many of their fixtures. Well, they had, you know what I'm trying to say. They've got Man City away in there. You know, that's a very tricky game.
Yeah,
you know, the Brentfords and you know, big derbies with Manchester United and Chelsea's. We're going to really sort of see possibly someone, do you reckon, taking control of this Premier League after the end of this run? What do you reckon on that?
I don't know, because if when you're talking about they might drop points to Man City, well, that just puts Man City in it with us, because they're only 3 points off us. Let's remember, City are only 3 points off us. They equaled. They came up beside us before we played Newcastle. So if we look at that, a title run in with 3 teams is so much harder than 2. It's so much harder than 2, because if one team slips up, the other one doesn't. You look at their fixtures, Grant. When I say I don't want us looking at Liverpool's fixtures, I mean that I want them looking at ours. You know what I mean? If you want to win the league, you take control. You know, you take control and you let them look at us. But if you look at our fixtures, I mean, we have West Ham coming. They've got the sewage bounce. They're after getting a draw today. They could, you know what I mean? West Ham have always come to the Emirates, cause us trouble. Fulham away. I'm with DJB. That one puts the shits up me. Palace, who are now the best counter-attacking team in the league. So it's away, so they'll be counter-attacking even more. Burnley, we should beat them, but we saw what they did to Liverpool. Sunderland have been immense. And then, even though we're at home, we do have the North London rivals on the last game of the run.
It's an inside one. That
we do have Tottenham Hotspur.
That's an inside.
The North London rivals. We have them.
I'll give you that. I like that. Yeah, that's a little inside joke. That
we had them, but look,
brilliant.
Of course, we'll look at Liverpool's fixtures, but this is the thing, and I said it when I mean it. The problem is, right? People were saying that we can use the Newcastle result to bounce off it. The big problem with that is that this manager makes everything about feelings, emotions. Oh, the great even in the post match, we were going through it with DJB, the post match press conference, and we were noting that he was saying, great feelings, great emotions, great this. He should have been saying repeatedly, look, it's just one game. It's just one game. We move on. It's just one game. So the problem is when he does that, that's why we always have a big crash after big results. Because he just makes it all about the emotions, and they go into the next game and they're all, like we're still after scoring a last minute winner, or like we're after hammering City. Oh yeah, we're the best team in the world. And then suddenly it's half an hour gone, you're 1-0 down to West Ham, and you're going, oh shit, this wasn't in the script. You know what I mean? So you need to reset it all the time. And he never resets. He tries to go off all the emotions and feelings and stuff like that. So, if we score early against West Ham, then the run could start. It really could, because if like I said, if it's half an hour gone and Bowen suddenly breaks away and slaps one in, and the Emirates goes quiet, and then, oh, well, this wasn't in the script, that's when we trip up. Yeah. But when I said it yesterday, and I mean it, if we don't win the next 5 minimum on the spin and do it with conviction, the Newcastle game means nothing. Even if Liverpool drop points, by the way, I'm saying this, we need to make a statement now.
Yeah,
you need to go on a run. Anybody who wins leagues, I'd say if you go back through the last 100 leagues, the team that's won it at some point has a minimum 6-7 game winning streak. You have to do it if you want to win leagues. So this is what we need to be looking at. I want them to go into that. I want them to put 2 or 3 past West Ham, move on, go to Fulham. You can get a 1-0 stinky win there if you want. Yep. Go get it. Take Palace out, end their winning streak or unbeaten streak. Go to Burnley, get a result, and you know what I mean. And then go into the Tottenham game with all the wins in a row. Liverpool have dropped, say, 4 points. We're top of the league, and then we're buzzing, and then we beat our rivals, and then that's when you start. I'm not going to have I've said it before, right? People, I've had it with Hooks. I've had it with other people who said, "Oh, trying to tell me how can this be? This isn't. You're lying. This isn't the lowest you've ever felt as an Arsenal fan." They can't understand that it's because of the manager, and I tell them I have zero faith that this manager can get over the line. So this is the lowest manager. It's this fucking manager, and he's the lowest I've ever felt. And they don't grasp it. So I've said it before. If we have Palace away last game of the season, and I've said this before, if we're 3 points ahead, but we can lose on goal difference, I'll still feel that he'll find a way to blow it. And until he gets over the line, even then, he's still on fraud watch for me, because I don't rate this manager. And even if he gets over the line and people go, oh, well, you were wrong. No, I wasn't, because we should have won minimum 2 of the last 3 leagues, right? So he still owes us that. And just to get on to Gyökeres, what DJB was saying, all I was asking for this guy was that he gets 3 or 4 chances in games. And I said, even if he's missing them for now, that's fine by me, once he's getting chances. And as DJB said, with the 2 chances he got in that game, he got one where Timber played him in the first half and he spun and the shot was deflected. And then he got a really good one in the second half when Eze flicked him through and he took one too many touches and then he slipped and put it over the bar.
Yeah.
You know, this is the thing, though. If he had already scored a goal in the first half, he slaps that second one. He takes 1 touch and he slaps it. You know what I mean? If he's already got the goal. So if he is definitely a form striker. You can see it in him. He's an Andy Cole. He's an Alan Shearer. I remember Shearer went through a patch at Newcastle where he went 5 or 6 games out scoring. He scored that wonderful side foot volley against Villa when Schmeichel was a goal, if anybody remembers, it came across and he just side footed it straight into top corner. I think he scored in the next 6-7 games in the league. He just went off on one. You know what I mean? So I think Gyökeres is like that. I think this is the type of run where he could bang one in against West Ham, banging one in against Fulham, and then he could go off one. I don't think he'll get over 15 goals. We said that in the summer, DJB. We both said that. Why's everybody getting carried away? No. But, you know, he's no Glenn Helder. I'll put it to you that way, man. He's no Glenn Helder. You know, Glenn Helder was the baller of all ballers, man. If you're watching Glenn,
you killed him, man. You killed him,
man.
I broke him. I feel terrible, man. I feel terrible. He reached out to me on fucking X. I feel terrible, man. Yeah, you know, someone asked me the other day on X about did you have a player called Helder? And I said, yeah, Glenn Helder in the mid-90s. He was shit. I thought nothing of it. And then Glenn Helder replied to me, I'm sorry, I wasn't in the right place at the time. I wasn't very professional.
Well, you caused him more trouble on fucking Twitter. You shouldn't have opened that account, should you?
I felt like shit. I didn't even go for him. Someone just asked me about Helder. I said, and the funny thing is, I told him the truth. I said, I had your name on the back of a jersey when I was 14 because we had just signed him. And I was, oh, yeah, Dutch winger, great. And I got his name on the back, and then I realized a few weeks later that he wasn't very good. But I feel terrible. He reached out to me and said, oh, sorry, I wasn't very professional back then. I should have been better. And I said, oh, Jesus, Glenn, I'm sorry, mate. I didn't.
Sorry, Glenn. Oh, sorry, Glenn.
I'm sorry, Glenn. That's why I have him now here, man. Glenn is here now beside me, watching over me, man. I do apologize. I did love him when I was young. Yeah. It just took me a few years to realize.
Besties now, though, and all of that, yeah. Besties now, isn't it? Yeah.
That's it. Me and Glenn are like that, man.
Yeah, well, mate, fucking inseparable, man, isn't it? Do you know what I mean? He's moving in the mountains to Ireland, I've heard, and all of that. You know what I mean? On
Glenn, if you're watching, mate,
it's trending. It's trending.
He was tops.
No,
yeah, I've always liked you, Glenn. Don't worry, mate. Yeah, don't worry. I've always liked you, Glenn.
Welcome over here, Glenn. I do apologise. I do apologise.
Oh, mate. Do you know what, though? You make a really good point, and that's sort of why I wanted to open, and what I did open the show with. Seasons, they throw you these opportunities, and that's what basically you were saying and what I opened with. The opportunity is that Arsenal were presented with that opportunity of having Liverpool losing and then going, do you know what? Why don't you break a hoodoo against Newcastle? You're going to do it in style. You're going to win 2-1. You're going to close that gap. You're going to have a platform to go on. You've got West Ham at home, another chance. It's thrown us an opportunity here, or I believe here. Now, look, there's still early doors in the season. It's not a defining moment of the season, is basically what I want to make sure people understand. I'm aware of that. But there is a fantastic opportunity. You look at Liverpool last season. They won the league, really. And we've got hindsight. It's 2020. They won the league last year very, very, very early on by getting these wins and then just going on that run. You know, that run that you were saying, Shane, you know, the 5, 6, the 7, putting them runs together. I mean, we've seen Liverpool and Manchester City teams put in 10s, 12, 13s, 14s. But, you know, we haven't been able to do that. We didn't do that last season. We haven't done that this season yet. It's only 6 games old, of course. But we need to do that. And I feel like if Arsenal Football Club want to win the league this year, this is a great opportunity. And again, I'll say this before bringing on again, to stamp their authority on this title race or on the season so far. You know, I think if Arsenal are serious after that win, they should be. Yes, let's just discount now the trickiness. They should be going home to West Ham and beating West Ham comfortably. They should be able to, as you say, Shane, go and get a stinky win at Fulham. even though it's going to be tricky at Crystal Palace because we're home. I feel like we should be winning that. We should be beating 2 promoted teams away, and we should be beating on North London. Now, I've used the word should there a lot of the times, but when I'm looking at where are Arsenal going to get a run, I'm just seeing us closing the gap to 2 points, beating Newcastle, a massive team away, and then having this run of fixtures. This is a really good time to get that running, isn't it, boys? Normski, this is a very good time to get that running. And if Arsenal Football Club are really going to put their marker down and be contenders for this title, I'm looking at that. You've got to be getting some serious points out of that, in your Norms. There's no more time to do it than now, is there, bud?
Yeah, definitely. So if you can hear background noises, my son on this gaming, so apologies. As Arteta likes to say, we need to learn lessons from last season, in terms of the fact that the amount of games we drew and stuff like that, not capitalising on Liverpool dropping points. You look at those fixtures on paper, you think, they're good fixtures. But as I say, last season we lost against West Ham, Fulham, Crystal Palace. You know what I mean? They're looking at a real good side. Now we're at home for the two games, the London games. Well, actually we got if you look at it, that's 3 London games we've got there in a row. So you know what I mean? We've got to go in there with the right attitude, the right mentality. Arteta has to instill this in the players, to sort of say, listen, let's take a game at a time. Let's stop looking ahead. Sorry about this. Let's stop sort of trying to look ahead and forget about what the fans are saying. Focus on what you need to do. Do you know what I mean? Learn your lessons from last season. Take it game by game rather than just sort of. I know as fans we tend to do that. We tend to go and say, right, let's look at the next 5 fixtures and that. But I think what Arteta needs to be saying is take it game by game. Don't get complacent. This is the thing, because we've had a fantastic result against in the last minute. Everybody's buzzing and everything. We don't want to then go into the West Ham game because they are beatable. They're not having a great season. Yeah. Yes, they've now got a new manager in Nuno, and Nuno will have these guys organised. Do you know what I'm saying? He will have them organised. And judging by what I saw tonight against Everton, it's not an easy place to go to. West Ham was giving them a game, and to the point where they were in the ascendancy and could have probably end up winning the game. Fair play, it ended up being a draw, but we're at home. We have to take the initiative. We have to go and play. We have to play on the front foot. I don't want Arteta. It might be Shane or DJ, but I can't remember who said it. Like he can't go back and revert back to type of go into his shell and start thinking, oh my gosh, we got this game and we need to be cautious. No, listen. The thing about Arsenal, when I watch them, and I think we've got to be the in terms of the way we move the ball, the slowest. I'm watching Everton tonight, where they're popping the ball about. West Ham, they're popping the ball. Why is it all the teams are just popping? If we was to pop the ball around, we've got the players. DJ Bree said it. Eze needs the ball. If it slows down, then you know what I mean? It's not going to work for him. Pop the ball about. Get it. We can do it. It's not that these players can't do it. They can do it. But it's because Arteta is saying, no, this is the way I want to. I need to be cautious. That's why with Saka, on Sunday, the chances where he could have attacked the space more, I think it's an Arteta thing. Him telling him to recycle the ball, cut back. What's his name was doing it before he got injured. He was attacking the space. Yes, it didn't come off in terms of any end product. Yeah, but at least he was trying to attack, and hopefully
the way Glenn Helder used to.
Yeah, I mean, just if he was. Yeah. Oh, sorry, Glenn.
Your boy.
Sorry, Glenn.
James boy.
But we just got to take it game by game. Look at what happened last season. We don't want to be in a situation where we end up, because that game, going into that game last season, I didn't expect us to lose that game. Do you know what I mean? But we did lose it. We lose it.
They were in a bad moment again as well, I think, last season as well, weren't they? Yeah.
And that's why I'm saying complacency, because the fans, because you're going into that game thinking, no problem, bang.
I've done a live watch along with my dad for that.
Yeah.
What I remember.
Yeah,
honestly.
So Palace at home as well last season.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Raya fucked up.
Right. Yep. So we've got to just make sure that we go into these next 5 fixtures. Obviously in between that you've got the Champions League and stuff like that, but we've got to go into these next 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 fixtures. Just focused on game by game and just playing that attacking, fluid football that we've seen in maybe the first sort of 35 minutes of that Newcastle game. It has to be a 90-minute game, not just a half, 45 minutes. We've got to keep going and make the changes where necessary. And yeah, drop the likes of Zubimendi. Yeah. Let him know that, bro, you need to earn your place back in this side. You know what I'm saying? You need to earn yourself back in this side. Change it up. Let's see something different. Give the opposition something to think about. Because the problem is a lot of the times when we go into games, the oppositions have worked us out. We're probably the easiest side to work out in the league. That's why
predictable.
We're too predictable. We're too predictable.
Obviously, going in in terms of games, horses for courses sort of things. Would you mind seeing a starting midfield trio of should they be fit of Eze, Rice in the 6 and Odegaard?
Yeah.
Against West Ham.
I've been saying it for ages.
100.
Yeah.
I've been saying it for ages, Aaron. We don't need 2 defensive midfield players at the Emirates. You got to make the Emirates a fortress.
100%.
You've got to win your home games. If you're winning a Premiership and you're going to be really serious, win your home games. That's the minimum that you've got to do is win your home games. So we don't need them 2 defensive midfield players. I would play it Rice in the 6, Eze in the 10, Odegaard in the 8. When Madueke's fit, I'd put him on the left, and then I'd put Saka on the right. That would be my lineup at the Emirates. When we go away from home, if we're playing, Man City at the Etihad, you can be a little bit more cautious. You can perhaps bring Zubimendi back in and stuff like that, or play Zubimendi. Bring him on if we're winning, if we're 2-0
You
up.
can even play him in the home games against the likes of Sunderland, though. You know, play Zubimendi, exactly. Give Rice a rest.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I was just going to say, you could rotate.
When he has time on the ball and he's going to be popping it about,
exactly.
Rice a rest.
You could rotate Rice and Zubimendi. That's what I was going to say. That there's certain games you could rotate Rice and Zubimendi and just play the rotational thing. Or if we're in control and we've got the job done, we're 2-3 up and we're cruising, take Rice off, give him some minutes, put Zubimendi on. So you can rotate them. You can rotate Zubimendi and Rice against teams like, Burnley and Sunderland and the home games like that. Even West Ham, we could do that. But what I'm trying to say is it is the home games that we need to do that in. More so than the away games, obviously, but there's no reason why we can't be more on the front foot at home, because we've definitely got the squad and we've got the players to do the damage at home and get the job done. I mean, when was the last time you seen Arsenal go in at the Emirates, sort of, cruising 2-3 up at half time? We're still having to come out in the second half and going, oh, look, we're only 1 up, or it's 0-0, and and you're still kind of like, oh, what's happening? It's 2-1 or it's 1-0 or it's 0-0. Would it be nice to just go in against West Ham on Saturday if we're 2-3 up at half time? On the front foot, Eze's bagged, Yorkeres's bagged. Yeah, half time. So when you're having your beer at half time or whatever you do at half time, you're sitting there, you're chatting, you're chilling, you're relaxing, and then second half, you keep it tight. Then you start playing your possession-based football. Then you throw on your Zubimendi and you have Rice, and not sit back, but you know what I'm trying to say. Just control the game. I haven't seen that for quite a while at the Emirates, really. I just haven't seen it. So
yeah.
I think you've got to start going in positive. You have got to start going in positive, because we could, if the manager gets it right. And it's a big if in capital letters, because he gets a lot wrong, obviously.
Yeah.
There's no reason why we can't go the next 4 games and take maximum points. And I'm saying this out there because I think the hardest fixture out of that is Fulham away, probably Palace as well. But if you look at Liverpool's next 4 games, they could easily slip up against Chelsea. Man United, Liverpool, that's always a feisty affair. And Man United, they are poor, though. I've got to admit. I think Liverpool.
But they were poor last year and they beat them again.
Exactly.
They drew.
Did they draw? Sorry. Yeah.
Brentford away's tough. Brentford are a pretty organised team. They're tough. Aston Villa are poor at the moment. So, look, it's not about what Liverpool do. And let's be honest, Kenny said it earlier on. You got to look at Man City as well now. You got to look at Man City. Foden's come back into form.
Just quickly, D, I haven't excluded Manchester City from this because I don't think they're in the title. It's only just because this is what we need to do to catch the team in first place. Yeah. So if any Man City fans, it's not discrediting Man City.
There's no reason why we can't win our next 4 games. And we're going to have to win our next 4 games. As Shane said, we've got to go on a run now where we pick up maximum points and we go, look, right, this is what we've done. We're now 5-6 points clear. What have you got? What have you got? Do you know what I mean?
Can I just ask a quick question? The question is for all of you. After these 6 fixtures, does the lead change hands?
Yeah. What? Do you think we'll be top?
Yeah, so after these 6 fixtures, does it change hands? It's just
No. But I tell you what it will do before Shane comes in and that. What it will do, this next fixtures, because that will more or less take us kind of back in. I mean, November's tough. These fixtures are November. We've got a tough November. But what these fixtures will do, these next lot of fixtures now will take us kind of into Christmas period or going into the Christmas period. And that's when you start looking at the league table. And that's when you think to yourself, well, hang on a minute. This is where it matters now. When one team pulls away round about December time, that's when you then start thinking, hang on a minute. Because when you come back in January, before you know it, it's kind of March, and then you're looking at spring, and then you're looking at the back end of the season. So,
I suppose in an ideal world, if it was in an ideal world, I'm just saying, if it was in an ideal world, right, with the squad that Arsenal have got, right, just say in this ideal world, in Arteta's world, and in these top Guna's world, if we have all these players completely fit going into the Christmas period and coming out the other side, where we might lose 1 or 2 players, but we've got players to come in. Do you think that would be good going forward, or does it just depend on how Arteta sets up again?
Exactly, Norms. It just depends on how he sets up. It depends on his attitude. The trouble is, you just don't know with this guy. This guy could do just madness, couldn't he? He could put Gyökeres on the left and play Marino up front. You just don't know.
Yeah,
that's just the thing, though, DJ. The stuff that we ask for is stuff that we know that he'll never do. Rotate, play the players in the right position, and we have to look at it as well. We've all called, every one of us, Lee, all of us, everyone in this panel, that Rice looks absolutely shattered. Right, he looks absolutely shattered. And if you look at that game against Newcastle when he had to run the length of the pitch to stop Jake Murphy from scoring.
Where was our defenders?
Zubamendi was out of position. He was up. He was up the field, and Rice had to cover him. And you could see that he wasn't happy about it, right? So he already looked knackered, and he doesn't look right. And you think, right? Imagine he goes down injured for 2 or 3 months, right? Just imagine it. He goes down injured for 2 or 3 months. Then we're done, right? We are done because Zubamendi will get found out even more so without him to protect him. Because then we have Marino, Zubamendi, or even if we have Eze, Odegaard, and Zubamendi, it's not the same. Rice, because Rice is making this guy look half decent, right? Imagine Zubamendi without Rice. Saka we can handle sometimes, but we still look quite toothless without him a lot of the time. These are the players that don't look right. We have people now on X, Tom Canton included, going, the best thing to come out of the Newcastle game was that nobody got injured, right? So that's what we're doing. We're celebrating people not getting injured, like it's a curse that's being put upon us. It hasn't been. These are all down to the manager. The injuries are not going to stop, by the way. They're not going to stop. We will be sitting here after all of these fixtures, and I'd say at least 2 of our top players will be out. Right? I'm just saying that right now. It sounds really negative, but either Gabriel, Saliba, Saka, or Rice, You take your pick. 2 of them, Timber, someone will be out for a month, 2 months, whatever it may be. And when you get into the Christmas period and you have 8 games a month, then and if someone's missing for a month, it's massive, right?
Especially,
Now, other teams suffer injuries, yes, of course they will. Other teams will suffer injuries, but other teams don't cover as much ground as us. Other teams, top teams, rotate more than us. Other top teams don't have a manager who will rush people back. He brought Saliba, admitted in the pre-match interview that he has an ankle injury, like it's not the same one that he rushed back from, then played him on and then did damage to it. Then he brought him on when he, after admitting the guy has an injury, right? He put a 15-year-old on the bench in a ground where it's known as the Tugs. Oh, do you not think that Joe Linton was looking over going, I hope that prick gets on the pitch after what he did to me in pre-season? I got a lot of shit off that. I'm going to cream him if he comes on, right? That's what he would have been thinking. That's the way football works. These are grown men. If he did leave Wanyeri out for no injury, what was he thinking? Because then he went in with the only wingers on the bench, being a 15-year-old and Martinelli. So he had to bring Martinelli out the right where he doesn't work. We've seen it before. He has the odd moment out there. So this is the manager we're talking about. So if we don't score an injury time winner, right, from a corner yet again, we're sitting here going, fucking idiot. He went and drew. So we're 1 minute away from being completely different sitting here. And we have to remember that. We didn't go there and win 3-0. We didn't go there and bop them off the park and go, right, that this is what we were looking for. It was an injury time goal, which everybody was saying is not sustainable when Liverpool were doing it. So we need to remember that. It's okay getting carried away. This is still the same manager. And again, let's remember, when we equalised, he put on a defender. He went back to 4 at the back. We just happened to get a corner. The players took it upon themselves, which is all well and good. It's all well and good that the players took it upon themselves, but he'll get his grips into them. We look at those fixtures. I'm demanding 5 wins, but do I think it'll happen? No, because we know that we will be sitting here at some point during next month going, what the fuck was he thinking with that lineup? Or why did he go to defensive?
This is the problem,
we know that we're going to be doing it. We know we're going to be sitting here doing it. I had Liverpool fans coming into my chat. Yeah, but that's the thing. I had Liverpool fans coming into my chat after they lost to Palace, saying Slot better get his act together. You know what I mean? And that's standards, man. That's proper standards. And if you look at their team, I'm almost certain that when they play their next league game, or maybe their next Champions League game, Kanate and Frimpong will be dropped, because Kanate played shit and Frimpong ran from the corner. That's who he was talking about in the post-match. And I'll finish on this because DJB was spot on. After Liverpool lost, the first thing Slot said in his post-match interview was, they were much better than us. They bashed us. You know, have you ever heard Arteta ever say that? And he's never said it. He's never come out and said, this is my fault. I got it wrong. And you hold yourself accountable. You move on. So he will go in there, he'll bollock those players and say, that's not fucking good enough. I don't want to see that again. Or you're out, and you're out. Where this guy will just go, oh, guys, you know,
he says the opposite, doesn't he?
Against this guys. He says the opposite all the time.
Yeah. Oh, no, we were better than PSG.
Time,
no, we were.
Yeah, exactly.
Even their players said it. Ask their players.
Yeah. Ask the players. Oh, their bench said it. Their bench said it. You know what I mean? He talks like we're back in the days when we had Glenn Helder, and we don't. You know what I mean? If we had Glenn Helder, I'd understand. But we don't have Glenn Helder anymore, so we can't just depend. He set up Bergkamp's first goal. Let's remember, he set up Bergkamp's first ever goal for Arsenal. So he's always got that.
And that's what made him as well. Bergkamp even wrote it. There's a whole chapter in his autobiography dedicated to that.
If Glenn Helder hadn't have set Bergkamp up, well, we would have ended up selling him that year. He would have been
no one. Yeah, Bergkamp would have been a no one.
Aaron, Glenn Helder actually said that one of the finest moments of my football career was setting up Bergkamp. One of the lowest moments was being on X when some Irish guy in a tracksuit top.
I thought you were about to. Me and Glenn are like that, DJB. That's why we're able to have banter. That's why
I'm just putting it out there. You know, he's gone from setting up Bergkamp to having to.
He gave me love hearts and everything, man. He gave me love hearts and everything. You know what I mean? Me and him are like that, man. Pull it up there, Aaron. Pull it up.
Couple of X's in there and all of that. You know what I mean? X love heart.
I always remember him setting up Bergkamp. I mean, I can't comment, man.
There it is. You can pull up the tweets there, Aaron. Look.
You always got it.
Yeah, look, man. Look. Fran said, did you have a player named Glenn Helder? Or I'm imagining this winger, I think. And I said, yeah, mid-90s. He was shit, right? Glenn then said, sorry, Shane. I could have and should have played much better, but I was young and stupid and didn't live like a professional. Sorry, my friend. I felt fucking awful after this, by the way.
Greetings.
And
Glenn, look.
Glenn, and I did check, and it really is him, right? I said, the funny thing is, I actually got your name on the back of my shirt, which is true, by the way, soon after you signed. Anyone who played for Arsenal is a legend in my eyes, regardless of anything else. Thanks, Shane. 100% love heart, man. You see, we're like that. All the best, my friend.
Yeah.
My friend. Big up, Glenn.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what, we'll have to get him on the OGs. If you're watching,
We
Glenn,
have to
get
get
the
Glenn
OGs,
on, man. I'll reach out to him, man. We're like that, you know what I mean? I'll get him on, no problem. I'll get Glenn.
Yeah.
Come on, G.
There he is.
Come, G.
There he is.
No, Shane,
He's on,
hold on. Shane,
hang on.
why did he call me out? Why did he call me out?
I'm sorry, Glenn. Glenn, I'm
why?
sorry, man.
You'll come
I'm
on
sorry, I
Dogskin
didn't think
TV,
Oi,
the
oi,
Arsenal Huddle,
come on,
and Aaron
give
talks Arsenal.
us a hug. Come on, give me a
James,
hug.
I'll dig out my old Glenn Helder shirt just to prove that I did love you once, mate.
I've had enough.
Get him on
sorry,
the Retro
Glenn.
Kit show.
Come on. I'll give him a bell.
Dig out the old T-shirt of yours. I know. Yeah. Well, I'll tell you what, that'd be a little bit crusty now. You're mates of him, wouldn't it? I bet. But that's in a bit of action. That fucking shirt. Now you're best mates, isn't it? Oh,
it is real. It is real, Lynch. Yeah, I checked it. It's really.
Don't worry, Lynch. Yeah.
Oh no!
Shane,
oh, gosh,
Shane's just not showing the other messages that came after it. That's what you're saying.
Not the private ones. Not the private ones where he's going, I will fucking kill you.
Yeah.
Glenn Helder. You slag me, Glenn Helder.
You your fucking stitch, man.
I shut up Dennis Burkamp. What's your problem?
Yeah, what did you do?
Yeah, what did you ever do? I shut up Dennis Burkamp. I'm sorry, Glenn.
Sorry. Sorry, Glenn. Just quickly before we carry on. Wrote this a little bit a while ago, so I do apologise. But I think this one's directed at you initially, Sean. Chill, Arteta and Amarim's daddy, Sean. Just don't get dry. Make sure you call Diddy for that oil. Adam, don't you entertain it or your next peasants. Well, he loves peasants, doesn't he?
I use that term as well quite often. I love it.
Oh, I love the fucking peasants. I've never been called a peasant before.
Well, I call a lot of people peasants. Yeah, it's brilliant.
Yeah. There was the first time for everything. I've popped my little peasant cherry. And Sue just comes straight.
Calling the West Ham players that now. You know what I mean? You don't want to be knocking their confidence. Suge.
Yeah. Come on, Suge. Rice has played, and this is actually a good point, and this is what I wanted to mention as well. So Suge has made that. Suge has actually made a good point. I don't know what I'm just. Suge has made a good point in one of his chats. Big up the Suge. And he's actually without insulting anyone as well, which is
legend.
You keep sucking up, DJ.
Absolutely brilliant. Absolutely, I can't wait to come to Australia. I can't wait.
I'll tell you, man.
Can't wait.
We've got Sanders Rice, and it's a good point. Rice has played 6,528 minutes. 7,380 Premier League minutes since joining Arsenal and England minutes. And I don't care how fit you are, you need a rest. And this is a good point, right? Because we've got Olympiacos coming up in 2 days' time. And I think there was another sort of a message here saying, oh, no, it wasn't that one. There was another, someone else wrote in the comments. So I do apologise, but we're coming on obviously with Suges. What do you reckon then? He's got to start resting and making some wholesale changes, hasn't he? For this game coming up against Olympiacos, because we're at home. I think Shane or one of you boys, I think I was listening to saying, so these are the type of games early on in the Champions League. You usually get the nice home, easy, comfortable rollover win, your 2-0, 3-0. We've done it last year. We've done it the year before. We've done it usually the other years. We don't need the full team out going at full pelt. This is what we've spent £1 billion for. Surely, and as Suge correctly says here, and I think you messaged this again, Suge, or something similar again, basically raising the point of Rice playing too many minutes. Maybe is this a game where you see a Zubamendi and a Norgard in that to drop sort of Zubamendi out for the Premier League game against West Ham and put him in against Olympiacos and just give Declan Rice that rest. He's got to start rotating and using his squad now, Mikel Arteta. He's right. And when Shane as well, I'll link this in with another thing that Shane and one of you boys said. Declan Rice could be one of them big players that gets injured. If he is not managed properly, he is going to be the next big injury for Arsenal Football Club. And with their minutes, which is staggering that Sue just put in, he needs to be rested. We don't need Declan Rice to win that game against Olympiacos. And I hope Mikel Arteta sees it. Do you reckon he's going to get it right in terms of rotation? Or do you reckon he's just going to do the 1 or 2 sometimes we've seen him do frustratingly in the Champions League on Wednesday night, D?
He's got an opportunity to put out a good enough team to beat Olympiacos. However, it's a big competition, and it's something that you can't take lightly because we've never won it. The fact of the matter is, our record in Europe for a club like ours, for the size of Arsenal, is absolutely diabolical. So it's a cup we can't take lightly. That's for sure. It's got to be on the levels of the Premiership, if not more. In my eyes, to be honest, because I've never seen us win it. If you take out Rice, what's your options? Zubamendi and Marino.
You've got a bit of MLS there, but he won't play him there, of course.
He won't.
No.
He's not going to play. He's not going to play Skelly there. He could play Skelly left back, because that keeps it still quite solid. He could play Marino up front and drop Gyökeres, possibly. I don't think he's going to play around with the midfield too much. I know Rice needs minutes. I know Rice needs some rest and he needs some time out. But I don't think he's going to mess around with the midfield, because at the end of the day, the last thing you want is to be in them playoffs. You don't want to be dropping into those playoffs. You want to get the 3 points at home, because our next 2 fixtures, I think, is Atleti, and Bayern. So, and they are 2 big hitters, and they're going well at the moment. And if you lose them 2 games, and then you don't get the result against Olympiacos, suddenly you're being dragged down there, and every game then is really a cup final. So you don't want to take it too lightly. As much as I want players rested, we also need a strong enough team to go and do the business against Olympiacos. Get the goals early, then start taking your players off and resting them. Get the job done, then take Rice off. Get the job done, then take another one off. Bring on Dauman, Wanyeri, however you want to use the squad. But me personally, it's one of them games where you've got to get the 3 points. It is a big game on Wednesday against Olympiacos. I know we've been going on about the Premier League, but that's the last thing you want. If you're going for a Premiership title and then suddenly you've got a playoff to make in the Champions League, it's not where you want to be, because then that does put more pressure on the squad. So for me, I don't think he's going to mess around with the midfield too much. I think he'll start with Eze. And then unfortunately, as much as I want Rice rested, I think he is going to start with Rice, and I think he'll start with Zubamendi. So I don't think you'll see many changes there. The only changes that he might do is Calafiori for Skelly. He might possibly, and this is I'm throwing it out there, he might play Ben White instead of Timber.
Do you know what? Mosquera, look, I'm quite intrigued by this Mosquera, because look, he did look very nervy, and of course we all know the mistake led to the goal for Newcastle. I hope Mikel Arteta doesn't just throw him out, because he obviously got subbed at half time, you know, and that probably maybe it would have been the right decision to make, but ultimately that will also affect his decision. You need to just jump straight back on the horse, didn't you? You know what I mean? And I hope Mikel Arteta don't just leave him out. And this is also one big thing I'm going to see about his character, Mosquera. So I'll just finish this quick. I'm quite intrigued now, because he's actually started his Arsenal career really, really, really well. I mean, largely, we didn't miss Saliba when he was gone, and we had some tricky fixtures in there. So good for him. But you always find about a young character, because it's easy when things start well and you're riding the crest of a wave. It's all going good, excellent. You're young, everything's going for you, great, you're performing well. But you see the character when things don't go well. And this is his first time in his short Arsenal career where something hasn't gone well for him. And it's a bit, now he's going to feel like, oh, wow, nearly let the team down. Thankfully, he got out of jail when we won the game. Otherwise, they'd have a bit more pressure and probably be feeling a bit more shitty. But my point is now we can see what he's made of, you know. And I hope Mikel Arteta lets us see that in terms of him playing against Olympiacos. Throw him straight back out there and let him right his own wrong. And I want to see how he responds to that, because it's his first big, you know what I mean? It's a bit of a shitter. His confidence is going to be a bit low after that. I want to see what he's made of. I want to see what character he's got. Is he going to go within himself and just try and be safe? Or is he going to believe in himself and just go, you know what? Yeah, mistakes do happen. It is what it is. But I'm going to bounce back and I'm going to give you a performance.
Yeah, I mean, it comes down to his man management, though, doesn't it? Because he's obviously hooked him because he's had a nightmare of a first half. Now, it might have been that he might have been protecting him a little bit. I doubt it. It's probably because you've had a stinker and you're off. But he might be protecting him a little bit, that things weren't going well at Newcastle. Let's bring him off before it gets worse, you know, so everyone, all the fans and everyone don't get on his case and everything. So it might have been a little bit of that on it. He has got a chance now to put him in against Olympiacos.
Yeah.
He could rest Gabriel. He could rest Gabriel against
Saliba. I'd rest Saliba.
Or Saliba, whoever they feel, you know.
Saliba was injured for the Newcastle game. You know what I mean? He still
I think they're the changes he'll probably make, if any. I think if he makes any changes, it'll probably be Skelly, Calafiori, Mosquera for either Gabriel or Saliba. And I don't think he's going to make too many changes in midfield, because it is an important game. We need the 3 points because, as I said, the next two games are hard, and you don't suddenly want to be playing catch up and struggling to get out of the how can I call it, the group stages. I know it's not the groups, but you know what I mean. You don't want to be
top 8, innit?
You don't want to then have that on your mind going into in important Premier League games. And then you've got the Champions League on your mind, thinking we need 3 points now. We've got to get, that's a must win. That's a must win. And then you've got to have a must win game the weekend. You don't want that. Get the job done early in the Champions League. Get the points on the board. Then you can start. Then you can keep your concentration on the Premier League. You don't want to be playing catch up.
So you see, the Mosquera thing is a tough one on him, because he gives that corner away. They whip it in, and then Gabriel fucks up for the goal. Yeah, and everybody's talking about Mosquera playing the ball out of play. Yeah. When what he did was just a miss kick. Gabriel mistimed his jump, then dived. So Gabriel was much more at fault. Much more.
It was pathetic.
Gabriel then, it was pathetic, right? And Gabriel then scores, nearly gets sent off then right after. And then he scores the goal and all's forgiven, right? Which is a big problem with this club, by the way. You just whitewash all of the bad stuff and just concentrate on the good. And then you end up getting caught out. I feel for Mosquera, I really do, because not only was he taken off for an injured player, right? But the thing is, and DJ's right, you do have to throw him in for the Olympiacos game. The only thing is, if he makes another mistake, then it's not just a one-off. And then it's, here, you know, this is what we're... You know what? I put this down to the top gooners online, right? Because we know these guys check. They know what the mood is online. They're young lads. They all have Instagram. They all have Twitter. They all have this stuff. They see their name. They type their name in. They see, this is the best young defender I've ever seen. This is the best young defender in England. This is the best. It's and he goes out. He goes out sauntering around, and then suddenly Joe Linton's smashing into him, and he's going, whoop. Maybe I'm not, you know what I mean? So we do this. We put them up on a pedestal and make them all the greatest thing in the world. And then they suddenly find out that they're not. You know what I mean? So there's nothing wrong with that's what we always say, just pump the brakes. You know, this is the thing. They were all coming out, the new Maldini, the new, shut up. I mean, he's had 2 or 3 games. He's had 2 or 3 games. But what you need to do is, you need to go, this mightn't be a bad thing. You can make this a good thing. You can sit him down and go, you see, it's not that fucking easy, mate. So you do need to train hard, and you need to do this, and you need to earn your way. You know what I mean? That's the way it builds your character. You know what I mean? People say about making a fortune. If you make a fortune, lose it, and make it again, the second time is much, much sweeter, because you appreciate it much more. So much more. You know what I mean? Just even with this, we had to go 2 or 3 days because there was just no water pressure left whatsoever. So the kids were having to old school it, you know what I mean? Filling a basin and having a shower with that. And then when we got the water fixed, everybody's lined up to have a shower. So you'd appreciate having hot water now. And you'd appreciate having a shower a bit more now that you went 3 days without it, you know what I mean? Because in the modern world, we live like, they've got a bit off kilter here, but we live like literally like kings. Like we take it for granted. This last 50 years compared to the rest of history. we live like kings. We have hot water.
100%.
We have everything we want. And through the rest of history, only the richest of the rich, the 0.1% had what we have. And even then, it wasn't even as good. So we don't appreciate it. So they'll appreciate it more. So this is what he needs to do. He needs to take that. Just like when we didn't get the penalty, then you win after not getting a penalty. It's sweeter. If you go and do it, you grab the ball out of the net, you do everything that we've been asking you to do, and then you go and win. So he either will go into his shell or he'll come out the other end. You know what I mean? And that's what it's all about. You know, I mean, Glenn Helder had a tough start at Arsenal, but in the end, he ended up setting up Dennis Bergkamp's first goal because he just kept trying. Because he's, you know, that's my boy. Like, that's my boy. I remember at the time he rang me and I said, "Listen, Glenn, keep your head up, son. You know what I mean? You'll be all right." And he came out the other
Do you know what I heard through the grapevine as well? I heard that Dennis Bergkamp's goal via Argentina in the World Cup '98. He apparently Helder inspired that.
Yeah, he did. He did.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
That pass, that assist to Bergkamp was the inspiration of that whole touch control flick for Ayala and outside of the boot.
But the boar came out and said that he watched tapes of how Glenn Helder set Bergkamp up, and he did the same. You know what I mean? That's what he said. So.
Some Irish fella came on Twitter, absolutely ruined him.
I'm telling you, it's just banter between friends, man. It's banter between friends.
Yeah, we're best friends. Oh, brilliant.
Oh, mate. No, I mean, just quickly on the Mascara thing. Yeah, I think it's important that he does bounce back. I hope that Arteta does.
He's got to be given the opportunity, isn't he?
Yeah. Don't sort of throw him on the scrap heap and, like, you know what I mean? Got to sit him down. If you're going to be a great coach, that you call yourself this great coach. As a matter of fact, let me just plug this in because I'm not a great coach if my laptop dies. Here we go. There you go. Yeah, he's got to make sure that chuck him in for the Olympiacos game. Let's see how he fares. Because as I say, you know, coming to the Premier League, it's not an easy league. And as I said, let's just stop. Yeah, he's had a good, first 4 or 5 games. But we just need to as I said, the famous words of Shane, pump the brakes, man. Just pump the brakes and just let him develop as the time. You know, a lot of these young guys online, you know what I mean? They're going to bring him up and say whatever, let him develop, you know what I mean? Put your arm around him, didn't have a great game, but, if any good coach, any good manager, which Arteta's really not, you know what I mean? But, hopefully he will try and get him back into the side and get him going again, you know what I mean? Just pick up from where he left off.
I think he should be starting him, shouldn't he? I mean, like Shane said, I think Saliba does need that rest, and I think it's almost an opportunity that's probably been given to him anyway. I think it's just a no-brainer, isn't it? You know, you've got throw the geezer back in, let him right his wrongs. It's a home game against Olympiacos. It's not against Atletico Madrid. That would be a different question. Then maybe you'll be going, all right, well, maybe you kind of have to, put him out of this one. But it's not. It's a game. Look, and I'm not going to discredit Olympiacos. You still got to turn up with quality and win the game. But you'd like to hope Mosquera or Saliba ain't going to be the deciding factor in beating Olympiacos at home. Do you know what I mean? And I think if there's any game, for him to sort of find out his character, bounce back, show us, that it was just a blip. Mistakes can happen. All of the best defenders do it. They just don't do it as often. Do you know what I mean? And just show that you're a young defender, you're going to make mistakes. And that was just a little blip in what's actually been a really positive start to your Arsenal career. Do you know what I mean? I hope he does play him. And obviously, I hope he does right his wrongs. Do you know what I mean? It's what it's all about. Were you there, DJB, on Wednesday night?
Am I there Wednesday?
For Olympiacos,
Yeah.
I'll get back in time. I'll pop round and say hello. I totally forgot on the Manchester City game. I got there a little bit late. I'll have to nip round and
I'll be
say
there.
hello to you and the boys.
Sleeping bags coming out about 8:15.
I'll bring a deck of cards.
That'll be on my seat. My sleeping bag will be on my seat. Probably a hot water bottle now because it's getting a bit cold as well. So
bring the old hot water bottle. Well, you got little heated fucking thermal things and all of that now. Do you know what I mean? That's why I wear my shorts all year round. Do you know what I mean? I've just got 7 layers of padding and all electric fucking heating on the inside. Do you know what I mean? That's what it is. It's tactics, guys. Yeah, tactics.
It should be good. I like the European nights, especially teams like Olympiacos. Me and Kenny was saying it. They're very the away fans make it European.
Oh, they're
nights.
brilliant. They are brilliant.
I don't like, you know, they turn up. The Olympiacos fans will be absolutely allowed as anything on and it makes it. It makes it. I don't like them European night. Then I do like a nice away crowd, especially when you're sitting right above them.
Yeah,
or you're sitting with them because they have their gold members or their family and all of that. They have them in the seats just below us.
Yeah,
because I'm in the posh end, obviously, you know.
I
don't rough it with Kenny and Dan, you know. But,
What they lower down to the right, isn't they?
Yeah, they're right round the other eye. They're block 5. Round.
They're in the council end, isn't they? That's it.
Yeah, they're in the cast-offs.
Yeah. We're in the luxury.
Not like me and you, Aaron. We're in the
off in the Glen Helder seats. You
you stole it,
seat.
I was teeing something up. Oh, you bastard!
We've got yeah.
That's funny, man. Well, but listen, thank you very much. We'll wrap up there. I've had a long day. Everyone's
that was great. It's fantastic.
It's a Monday. It's a nice little way to end it. I don't want to keep everyone for longer than's necessary. We've gone through all the bits. I've had a laugh. Hopefully, all of you world-class fuckers in the chat have had a laugh too. I've enjoyed the company of the world-class panel and me, of course, and me. I'm sure Suja loved that, and of course the real star of the show, Shane's best mate, Glenn Helder. Do you know what I mean? Without him, without him, you got Glenn, Thierry Henry to your right there, DJB, and you got Bergkamp to the left. And he wouldn't have been without him, mate.
Wouldn't have happened.
Say goodbye.
See you, Glenn, man.
I'll talk to you in a bit, Glenn. I'll give you a bell after, all right?
And for every single one, you'll be straight on the phone, and you backstage. You'll be like, I just need to nip off. Glenn.
Well, I have just tagged them on X. I have just tagged them on X. I said I have a picture of Bergkamp celebrating his first goal, and the one and only Glenn Helder set up Bergkamp's first Arsenal goal. Without Glenn, history would be very, very different.
He's probably showing. Glenn Helder was probably showing his mates now, giving it. Look at this grovelling Irish git now. Look.
Oh wow, the tide's turned, isn't it?
He's probably going. Look.
I won't come up.
Now,
it's annoying when that happens, isn't it?
Yeah. So I'll see you Wednesday, Aaron, and then on Normski, I will see you Wednesday on the mingle.
Yeah, the mingle.
Be a late one. Are you going to be all right for that?
It's an hour or so. Yeah, we're good.
Yeah, we'll have a few more Christmas carols coming out and stuff. Big up, my friend.
Of course, man. Big up to the panel for giving the time as always. I love this part of the week, Monday. It's a nice way to end what I always hate a Monday. They're crap, aren't they? It's 5 more days of work. It's the weekend's over. I'm usually feeling a little bit crap, like I definitely was this morning. 150% after drinking a little bit too much. I wrote in your chat last night. I'd seen you was on. My mates had left, and I was like, I wonder who's on. And I see you boys are on yours, D. And I wrote in hello or something like that. And honestly, one eye was closed. One eye I think was over there. It took me about 5 minutes to write hello.
I said, big up, Aaron, and that was it. And then I was toying with the idea. I'm thinking, shall I send a link? And then I'm going, no, I better not, because he's got to get up to work in the morning. And,
I weren't camera ready, mate.
I was trying to get hold of Glenn Helder, and I couldn't get through to him because he was
I'll bell him for you, man. I'll bell his number. I'll WhatsApp him for you, man. I'm gonna get him on my stream now.
I'm on a voice call, isn't it?
He's all up to eat, man.
Reach out to him.
I'll get him on What's the Story, and we'll go through his career, man. I'll get him. I'll nail the big one. I'll catch the big fish. Don't you worry, man.
Yeah,
so show you all that me and Glenn are like that. Man.
Curtis used to have the one and only Campbell on, didn't he? You know what I mean? So bless up, my friend. Yeah, I mean, that was always a good watch. But listen, they're around. They must listen, these old footballers. I reckon they do, man. I reckon a lot of these old footballers listen. Completely.
100%. But now, look, lovely way to round off Monday. I hope the chat always enjoys listening to us babble on about a bit of Arsenal. And of course, we'll all be back in our own fucking channels someday soon. We will let you go. Big up to everyone in the chat that's been here. World class, every single one of you. Thank you to all the mods, the members, the guys that put in the super chats. World class, every single person in the chat. Anyway, everyone, we're gonna go double boom. Mikel Arteta still the fuck out, but prove me wrong. Boom.